Is that James Bond you see? No, it's me, 6mm Badger. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to talk about this. The LCP from Tokyo Marui. I thought actually today I'm in a suit for work. I'm in a suit a lot of the time. So actually when I was coming back and I needed to get a video done fairly quickly for you guys, I thought, you know what goes very well with that is the LCP. The reason being is this gun always reminds me a lot of James Bond. It reminds me of Sean Connery and I believe the first ever James Bond Dr. No, where he had the PP, the Walther PP. I think it's not really an exact copy, but to me it's very, very close. When you look at it and look it up, W-A-L-T-H-E-R, if you don't know how to spell Walther, PP, and it's this tiny little handgun, which actually I thought was awesome, just because obviously a lot of these films you see, oh, it's a spy, he's going to have, you know, an amazing big gun and it's got to look cool, etc. But this was very, very cool in that he was a gentleman. He used this tiny little thing to actually play his role in the film. So as I kind of was wearing this, I thought, you know what, let's have a look at this thing. So I'm going to go over it quickly and just kind of let you guys know what I think of it and is it actually usable in any way, because as you can see it's very small, and as you can imagine the performance is not quite up to a lot of gas blowback pistols that you will see. So obviously with Tokyo Marui, you know, we all talk about it. It's probably, you know, done to a ridiculous degree is the talking about this, but Tokyo Marui packaging is awesome. This is how I got it. So as you can see here, it's kind of like a little showpiece. You have the gun here, you know, it's got these cool little things. It's got a little box of BBs, and it doesn't actually come with a spare mag, but I got a spare mag. Probably not something you would need as much with this kind of blowback pistol, but I thought, you know, I might as well get it, because if I'm going to actually use it, you want the option to be able to take another magazine. Now this is not blowback. You do not cock this with your actual, you don't cock this, you can't cock it back in terms of, I think the real one you could do that, I presume, because otherwise how are you going to chamber around into this thing? But what's really fascinating to me on this is that it has a very, very interesting and different magazine. This is obviously not a CO2 magazine. As you can see, it's probably one of the thinnest things you could find. It's got this kind of lip on the magazine, kind of like a Glock 26, which actually I quite like. You're only ever going to get 2 fingers on this thing, you know, if you're lucky. It's got a very big kind of trigger guard here, so actually the trigger pull it's fairly easy considering. But the magazine, you can probably see, is very, very different to most magazines that you will see. So it has your standard kind of spring here, which is going to load the BBs. I believe the capacity is probably about 12 BBs. It's got a little gap here, and that's where you actually load the BBs into it. And then this is quite interesting, where this is the mechanism that brings the BBs forward. So as you put it into the rifle, as you put it into the tiny pistol, and actually you're pulling the mechanism, that is what's going to bring the BB forward and into the actual, under the kind of hammer, or where it's going to be in the barrel. So I thought this was really interesting. It's very, very different to most pistols, but obviously it's very, very different to everything I've actually got, pretty much. I don't think I've got anything this small. Maybe the Glock 26 is anything comparable. It's got a Glock style kind of trigger. Obviously you don't kind of cock it, but it's almost like a dual motion. It's more like an M9 maybe. It's kind of got that initial lockback, which is kind of like, right, I'm primed. I'll fire it for you guys so you can hear it. It kind of sounds like a balloon popping. I don't know if you agree with that, let me know. But when I got it, I was like, when am I actually going to use this? And I think that if you are packing a very light loadout and you're going out there, you know, you've maybe got an SMG and you don't want to have a holster on you for whatever reason, this thing literally can just fit into a pocket. You know, I'll put it into my jacket pocket here. You can't really see it's there. It's very, very concealed. It's kind of like a concealed carry to the ridiculous level that no one can even know it's there in any way. You don't even kind of, you know, you open your jacket and you've got a hidden strap here. No, it's actually kind of, you can put it absolutely anywhere. But when I actually bought it, my initial thought was, you know what actually this would be really cool for is those game types when you don't always have to eliminate the players, you can take hostages. I've played some before. Milsim West is actually obviously one of the ones where, you know, it's played more realistic, so you can actually take hostages. Normally what you're going to do is take the intel from them, you're going to take away their primary and their secondary. So I always thought if I had this on my person and actually I was taken hostage and they took away my primary and my secondary, no one would think to look for this. You know, they wouldn't be like, oh wait, has he got a tiny micro pistol in his pocket? No. So if you were taken hostage and, you know, like one of the films, you found yourself sitting there in a room waiting, everyone turns their back to you, and you manage to draw this and shoot everyone in the back, I don't know how much they would feel it, because I expect this is probably around 200 FPS, if that. But technically you'd be getting the hits and you could escape. So it's obviously something that's very, very niche. You're probably never going to use that, but there is a use in my opinion. The other thing, guys, is to fill this mag with gas is probably the fastest thing you've ever done. That's it, filled. Obviously the actual gas chamber in here that's holding the gas is going to be very small. It's got your kind of typical valve on the back where it's going to be knocked by the hammer coming forward. But anyway, guys, I thought I'd show this to you. I'd love to know what you think. Do you think, what a ridiculous thing, why did you buy that? Or do you think it's the coolest thing I've ever seen and I'm going to get one now? I actually don't think I've used it more than once, but it is quite a cool thing to have in my collection. Plus I can kind of pose with it like this, try and act like I'm James Bond. You know, makes me feel cool. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. That is my video for today. Just going through quickly the LCP, and I will be back, I think tomorrow actually, with another video. So I hope you guys are good, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.